Is that how you say her name?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Jade Bodenhammer, reading for Kira. The day I became obsessed with fire is the same day my family decided to move 100 miles from the edge of the Mojave Desert to Santa Monica. We were one member short. She was obsessed with fire too. But we didn't discover this until it was too late. You see, the desert is like this. It's a burial ground with skeletons of gigantic ancient creatures protruding from the dust. Sometimes it looks like God. Sometimes it looks like it never learned anything but how to be lonely. When the sun rises, it's this bloom of color. The red scorched sand and the sky looks like this big giant blue bowl. During the night, it just looks like a ghost world. During the night, my sister drove out to the desert. And she brought with her 3 gallons of gasoline and a bright red lighter. I have a question for you. Okay. When a person doesn't want to be a person anymore, what do they become? Lily and I used to drive out to the desert, and we would just lie flat on our backs and gaze at the stars. Sometimes it felt like if we moved our bodies even just an inch, the whole world would tip over and it would pour us into the sky. Not anymore. Now, I am just a jack-o'-lantern. And I've scooped out all my own insides. And I've lit a fire in the space left behind.
That was terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd love to play around with it a little bit.
Okay.
And what I'm going to give you is, I'd love to see the whole thing as if you're talking to Lily, which is actually something we've been playing with in the script.
Oh, okay.
So feel free if you want to change some of the words to you or whatnot, instead of her, go for it. But just as if you're speaking to Lily. And then as you go, if something happens, if I get struck with an idea I think would be cool to play with, I'll stop you and have you go back and play with something.
Okay.
So don't let that throw you.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
All right. The day I became obsessed with fire is the same day that our family moved 100 miles from the edge of the Mojave Desert to Santa Monica. You know. But we were one member short. God, you were so obsessed with fire, too. And we just couldn't discover this until it was too late, huh? It's weird, you see, the desert it looks like so many things. It could be that ancient burial ground with skeletons just protruding out of the dust. Remember, it could look like God. Yeah. But sometimes it just looks like the only thing you can learn is how to be lonely.
That was great.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you go back and play with something else though, just to see where we can push it in different directions.
Okay.
And this time, I'd love to see you describe the desert and almost use it as an accusation. Like the desert never used to look like this. It used to look great, but now that Lily has killed herself, you've made the desert look like this.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
We still talk to Lily in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. The day I became obsessed with fire is the day that our family moved 100 miles from the edge of the Mojave Desert to Santa Monica. Thanks for that. Well, you know, we were one member short, of course. You were so obsessed with fire, too, and we just couldn't discover that until it was too late. See? This is what the desert looks like now. It looks like a burial ground with skeletons of gigantic ancient creatures just protruding from the dust. Okay? Sometimes it looks like God. But sometimes it looks like you just never really could learn anything but how to be lonely. I mean, when the sun comes up, yeah, it's a burst of color. And the red scorched sand in the sky looks like this giant big blue bowl. But during the night, Lily, during the night, it's just a ghost town. It's this whole ghost world. And you drove into the desert. You drove into the desert with your car and you took 3 gallons of gasoline and a stupid bright red lighter. Answer me this question, okay, Lily? Answer me this question. When a person doesn't want to be a person anymore, what the hell do they become? Because I'm all by myself now. Is it worth it? Remember when we used to drive up to the desert and we would just lie on our backs and gaze up at the stars? And it felt like if we moved our bodies even just an inch, the whole world was gonna tip over and just pour us into the sky. Do you remember that? Well, not anymore, huh? Not anymore. Now, I'm just a stupid fucking jack-o'-lantern, and I've scooped out all my own insides, and I've lit a fire where there used to be space.
That was fabulous. I'm gonna have you just go back to that final beat one last time and play with something.
Okay.
So the jack-o'-lantern, what if it's almost a threat? Like,
Okay.
I've done this and I'm going to follow you and you can't stop me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. From the top?
What if we go from, we used to drive out to the desert and watch the stars.
Okay. Okay. We used to drive out to the desert and just lie on our backs and gaze at the stars. Remember that? Hmm? And it felt like if we moved our bodies even an inch, the whole world was gonna tip over and pour us into the sky. And I miss those times. But not anymore. Now, I'm just a jack-o'-lantern. And I've scooped out all my insides and left a fire in the space left behind.
Great, that was terrific. Let's move into the therapist scene now.
Okay.
And Christian is going to be reading with you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's try something new today. It's called checking in. I'm going to give you a category. You check in as something in that category and explain why.
Seems reasonable.
Today's category is autumn.
I feel like a jack-o'-lantern.
Why is that? Good. That's good to hear. I'm glad you feel like smiling today. You've made such impressive progress in just a single month. Anything you'd like to add to that, Kira?
I prefer waffles over pancakes. My favorite color is green.
Are you alright?